Well, dude, so just for viewers, the reason that I wanted to have you on, and we've talked about this, was chatting with you about AI over the last, I don't know, 6 months, a year, whatever. I feel like I've watched certain videos like with, what's the guy with OpenAI?
Sam Altman.
Sam
the
Altman,
CEO.
yeah. Videos like from him or Mo Gadot or something. That's all they do. All they do is AI. So I feel like when they're talking, it's usually from a stage and they're talking to a huge crowd and everybody wants to ask the questions like, okay, what's going to happen in 6 months? Is AI going to take over my job, or what do I
Yes.
have to, yes, what do I have to know? And I feel like you have a good ability to kind of simplify it for the average person to know, like, okay, well, how is this actually going to impact me in 6 months? Or if I'm somebody, like, I keep seeing those ads that pop up on my phone, like, if you are only using ChatGPT, you're already behind. Like,
Yeah.
you need to know what these other 30 AIs are and take my course.
Making you panic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which I don't even know. The only one I've ever really played with is ChatGPT. And Gemini, of course, when I, you know, if I pull up my phone and do a search, or I talk into it with the microphone thingy, and then it'll...
Yeah, Android. It's kind of integrated into Android.
Yeah, which it's always a question of, okay, is this correct? Like, do I have to go back and, is this right? Like, if I just used it for, it's amazing what I do with it for Medicare. Because if I'm like, crap, I've been in the industry for like 15 years and I don't know if I know the answer to this, I'm going to go ask AI just to make sure it's correct. But I don't quite know if it's correct or not.
Yeah. Well, I have to preface with, I'm definitely not an expert, right? I'm not a programmer.
You are, though. You showed me an app that you're working on.
I'm vibe coding. That's not real coding. I'm a poser, pretty much.
See, I think, though, the fact that you're saying that you're not an expert lends, you don't want to come off as being way more credible than you are.
Yeah, so take everything with a grain of salt, because, like, nobody knows for real what our world as a result of AI influence is going to look like 10 years from now, or even 5 years from now.
See, I can't even wrap my head around 5 years, because if you just look at the changes that we've run into in the last, it seems like every, I don't know, 3 months. I guess this, to start off then, like, the opening question would be, everybody thinks, okay, what's going to happen in the next 2 years? Like, what would be the biggest thing that's going to impact people at their jobs, people on the street, day to day? Like, where do you see, like, this is going to change? This is fundamentally, your world is going to start becoming very different now because of this, whether it's your operating system on your phone changing, or apps that maybe we've used in the past that we're not using now, or we're using differently. Like, what do you think is kind of the leading indicator that, holy crap, life is kind of different now. It's changing quickly. I don't know.
So you're like 2 years out, roughly?
Maybe. I mean, it's 2 years?
2 years is a long time with AI development. So we could kind of paint the picture.
Do it, yeah.
So there was, if you look at ChatGPT as an example, like ChatGPT was being developed in iterations prior to when it kind of broke out on the App Store.
Which was
that was
year
2022.
Year and a half ago?
2022,
okay.
I think. And that was, I think it was version 3.0.
Yeah.
I don't even think it was 3.5. I can't remember exactly. But at that point, it got good enough to where OpenAI decided, hey, we can roll this out as a app that consumers can use. We were talking about this earlier. The adoption rate for ChatGPT was extremely high, higher than if you were historically looking at, like, how quickly Google search was adopted in the early 2000s after it came out.
Yeah.
Even platforms like Facebook, when they first came out, YouTube is another example. The adoption rate for ChatGPT, rather than being years, was 3 months. And they were up to those numbers. And now I think it's like 500 million people are using it.
Do you think, little sidebar question, not to derail you, but do you think anything changed because they went from a non-profit model to a profit model? I know
they're still not profit. They're still non-profit. Yeah, there's been a lot of back and forth between that, and the way it looks like it's going to work out is it's going to be still a non-profit governance over the top of a for-profit company. So, but that's different details. But so the first stage, I guess, when ChatGPT kind of broke out is that conversational. And for those who like aren't familiar with some of the terminology, when I say LLM, large language model, basically it's a form of AI that's designed to talk to you conversationally and understand what you're saying in natural human language. So LLM layer came out, and you saw, ChatGPT obviously took off really fast. Google had their oh shit moment.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we need to pivot our business away from all the stuff we've been doing historically towards AI first, so to speak. Microsoft, same thing.
Yeah.
Although Microsoft was pretty tight with OpenAI early on.
What's Microsoft's version?
Well, it's called Copilot.
Oh, that's right.
It's built
Okay.
into Windows, and it's really ChatGPT's stuff on the back end. So like they poured a bunch of money into OpenAI. But so this is kind of like stage one, and we're a little bit past it now. We're like, okay, I can now have a conversation with this AI chatbot, and at a level to where I feel like in general I'm talking to another human being.
Yeah.
So I can explain things even in kind of a dumb way, or I don't have the words for everything, and it's like, okay, I got you, I understand you, here's a response. And the whole training set is data that is across the entirety of human knowledge, right? You could feed Wikipedia stuff into it, you could feed Reddit threads and subreddits into it. Like, imagine all the stuff that's available on the internet. So stage one right now, we're able to have these conversations, and that's gotten progressively smarter over iterations and versions of ChatGPT. Now where we're at is, so the other thing that started to happen is these LLMs went what they call multimodal. So now it's not just about language. Now they can input and understand visuals from an image, so it can actually look at the image and understand what it's seeing. Video is now part of that, which video is really just a sequence of images, right? But still, that's an input method. So those are, if you think about additional ways to understand information, LLMs now can natively understand speech, written language, because I can talk to it, video, images. So you're always adding these new sort of methods, and eventually it's what you'll see with GPT-5 when that comes out. Probably the rumors are August. It'll probably come out
very soon though.
Yeah, and like some of the other, like Gemini is already multimodal, but GPT-5 will probably be like the next benchmark where that stuff comes together. So what you're seeing coming out now is agentic AI. That's
Agentic.
Like, yeah. And by agentic,
oh, the agent stuff.
Yeah. So that's like, okay, now it's not just about I talk to the AI. I guess I left out another step. First, you could talk to it. Then there was what were called reasoning models, where like O3, O2 were the models from OpenAI, and it can think about what it's thinking about, right? And so it enables it to problem solve. So it's not just a responding to you. Now it's like, before I respond to you, I'm going to analyze further what you asked me and decide if what I'm responding is in the right way, or if I have to do further research, and then they introduce internet search through that. Agentic is, now I'm not just talking to the AI, now it's actually going to go out and do what I want on the internet. So how it does it roughly right now, at least this first version that just rolled out to ChatGPT Plus users, is it almost creates its own little internet browser, goes out and using, again, its visual capabilities through the multimodal stuff we were talking about, it can look at the website. So it's not using the traditional method of back-end services from the website calling out to all these endpoints and saying, do this, do that. It's actually looking at the website and saying, oh, like a person would, I click here to log in, and then I click here to, add this item to my cart.
Right.
And then I click here to check out, right? So now it's to the point where it's starting to use that reasoning and that multimodal capability to problem solve and to execute actions. So that's where we're at right now, is kind of the beginning of that. So fast forwarding 2 years from now, at the speed these come out, what you're going to start to see is that agent component is going to evolve, get more sophisticated, and then Now, how soon this happens, I don't know, but your operating system, your method of interacting with the internet and all of its services is going to become more personalized in a way that you don't go out and browse yourself as much to do it. It's going to be like, hey, AI, ChatGPT, go do this for me.
Go book me a plane ticket
Yeah,
to...
go book my plane ticket.
Interesting.
And by the way, when you're doing that, make sure it's cheap. Make sure it goes to a place in the world that's really safe and that has this kind of weather, right? You could give it your laundry list.
Yeah.
And it would go out and do it. So agentic over the next 2 years will probably evolve quite a bit. And then what you'll start to see, I'll kind of stop there, but what'll start to happen is then when you have all these agents out on the internet talking to each other, like my agent goes out and talks to Delta's agent on my behalf.
Right.
You'll start to see more and more interaction on the internet happen between AI agents than between people.
Yeah.
And it will start to influence the very structure of the internet. So like a really good example is already companies are having conversations about, well, we're concerned because people aren't going to the website anymore.
Right.
They just go to ChatGPT and, hey, tell me about this. It pulls back stuff from the web and gives you that info. Well, now I don't have to browse there, right? So then if I can't drive traffic to my website, how do I make money through advertising? The question is, like, does that whole model break down?
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
I'll stop there. 'Cause
No,
that's
you're
a
right,
lot.
because like all the click ads, I mean, are there going to be companies that even want to create a website? Or if they do, it's going to be, okay, well, we're going to create a website because we know that people aren't even going to be going here. It's going to be the agents that are finding it to do the...
Yeah, so maybe web design itself becomes agent catered rather than people catered. But then another thing to think about is the idea of a fixed website at all. Like so one thing that AI LLMs can do really well now, like the app that I'm building with Gemini right now,